Hey, this is Dr. Story. I had someone ask me, I was at a Christmas party and someone asked me, what gym do I belong to? And I said, I don't belong to a gym. And they started telling me about all these different things that their spouse was joining different gyms for different things. And it got into a conversation. They asked me, well, what gym do you recommend, even if you don't go to one? And I said, well, it really depends. There's so many gyms in Camarillo, and I always find them, I'm going to go through and show you how to choose a gym, but they're funny because they're all based on colors or based on kind of a circular theory behind it. And so the new gym in town is called Orange Theory, and someone asked me, what do you think about Orange Theory? And I don't know. What's the difference between Orange Theory and Red Theory? And I realized it's a gym. And then there's another gym here. It's called Planet Fitness. And then we have our standard 24-hour fitness and stuff like that. And then there's Fitness 19. And I started investigating, why are these gyms, are they really that different? And the answer is, for the most part, they're not much different. But they all seem different. And really my advice to find a gym is to go to a place that seems to connect with the way that you want to work out. They were asking me, well, which theory or which idea is better? Should I do high intensity? All of that really doesn't matter. If you're paying for a monthly fee and you never go to the gym, it just doesn't matter if you go to a gym membership. So this new place, I was looking into it, and they're called Orange Theory. And it's it looks pretty awesome. And a lot of testimonials. Everything is orange, and I'm sure they did research to find out that people like orange. And they've got some things I went to here. How do you learn about it? And they have these scientific things. Their theory is that if you do a high intensity workout for 1 hour in a group setting, that it burns fat for another 36 hours. And that's kind of true if you do a high intensity workout. However, if you're not into group setting types of workouts and stuff like that, it could not be for you. The other place is called Round 9 or 9 Round, and it's different little sections that you go to. It's almost like a curves, but with higher intensity. And I think it's called now Round 9 or 9 Round because it's a lot of boxing style types of workouts. So it emulates boxing. I know a number of people that go to this, and they really do like the way it's set up. There's no classes. You just go in and you just start at a certain section, and you just do your round 9s. So it's based on boxing, and I didn't know it's always 9 rounds. I thought there were 12 rounds or something like that. But nonetheless, that's kind of their philosophy, and they're all using heart rates now. Heart rate monitoring and technology has been around for, I think, almost all my life. When I was a kid and I was a cyclist, you used to check your heart rate like this and count for 10 seconds, and then you had to do the math and stuff. And then they came up with heart rate straps and stuff, which were very uncomfortable. But they're all based on this idea that if you get your heart rate into a certain zone or color, as they call it, and I noticed each gym has their own categories of color. You're either in the blue or the yellow or the orange or the red. And there's no science behind that, by the way, of naming it a color. I think that's marketing. But there is a certain amount of heart rate that you want to get to. Just to let you know, just personally, I have found that using heart rate monitors, I find them somewhat redundant. I find myself that I can go based on perceived exertion, but heart rate monitors are kind of fascinating because, for example, if I ride my bicycle up a hill, if I'm going real slow, I could talk and breathe, and I know I can look down at my heart rate monitor and it'll say 145. So I can basically go at an aerobic pace at about 145. If I start trying to go up the hill faster, I find it kind of interesting. I could feel like at 160, I start feeling like a slight burning in my legs, but I can still go. And then once it'll go 168, 169. At 169 is where my heart rate is, when my brain starts to say, boy, these legs really hurt. I might have to stop. And that's called what's called a lactate threshold, where your body can't get rid of as much lactic acid as it's producing. And people use that for training. So I hit 169 and I start to blow up a little bit. Now what's interesting about this is that lactate threshold, it's not if I do training in a certain way and monitor it, it's almost, seriously, it's like a perfect number. 169, man, I start to get tired. So what ends up happening though is I've done some recent cyclocross races, and I'm amazed at how the motivation of dealing with others and just the competitiveness of it. My heart rate, I have this one race, my average for 40 minutes was 170, which if I thought to myself, if I'm training like that, there's no way I could hold 170 for 40 minutes, but I did on average. And my maximum heart rate was 185. And if I went out on the street by myself with no one pushing me, there's no way I can get to 185. My brain tells my legs, stop pedaling. So the competitiveness of it, the group setting, sometimes can make you work out a little harder than you normally would. So Orange Theory, they've got the right idea that you go into a certain zone of heart rate and you'll burn fat, and you'll keep burning fat when you stop working out. The 9 round has kind of the same idea. They don't have the same type of marketing approach, but it's the same idea. If you like that style of working out, that's fine. Planet Fitness is a whole different ball game, and they're purple, by the way, which again, I'm sure their researchers found that a certain type of client likes purple. They are priding themselves on a judgment-free experience, and you belong. It's not intimidating. A lot of times people go to these other gyms. Think of Gold's Gym. You know, a thin guy like me just doesn't want to go to Gold's Gym or World Gym with all the big muscle strong guys there. You feel intimidated. You don't want to get on a squat rack and squat, 150 pounds. So the thing is that it looks like Planet Fitness, if you feel uncomfortable in a gym, you're self-conscious and things like that, it looks like Planet Fitness is kind of a good gym for that. In certain circles, there's been things on the internet where people are in the bathrooms or the showers or even just out in the gym, and you could see this. Just type in gym fails or stuff like that. These people didn't give consent to being videotaped, but people are out there, they're on their phones and they're videotaping people and making jokes about them on the internet. And that's just wrong. So Planet Fitness, it seems, has marketed itself as a judgment-free experience. It's on their website. So the thing is that, and the pictures of people, it's funny, the marketing, the pictures of people on the Planet Fitness website, they are different than the people who are on, let's say, a Gold's Gym website. So Planet Fitness would be the place to do it. Now there's 24-hour fitness here in town. I have a lot of people that go there. Everybody comes with their keys and they have their little tag and say, "Oh, you work out at Planet Fitness." They go, "Well, no, I don't really work out there. I pay monthly." And so again, my whole point is, if you join a gym and you're paying monthly, it doesn't matter whether it's $10 or $5 or $30 a month. It's not worth it unless you go. So Fitness 19 is the new gym that came into town and everybody signed up, and I was asking this guy, well, why is it called Fitness 19? And he said it's because they're open 19 hours. And I thought, oh, 24-hour fitness is supposed to be open 24 hours. Well, it turns out he was right. The reason they call it Fitness 19, I checked their website, and they're open for 19 hours. It's kind of interesting. So Fitness 19 to me looks like the average style gym. It's got treadmills, it's got exercise bikes and gym equipment and stuff like that. There's another gym here in town that's based on the idea that it's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even Christmas Day. And the reason why is because there's really no attendance there. it's a key system. So everybody gets a little, like a little pad, a little credit card, and the only way to get into the gym is to key in. I personally don't think that's a great idea. There's a big liability there, but if you need to work out at 2 in the morning, or you want to work out and you just don't want to be around trainers and stuff like that, that's the gym to go to. So again, this person at this party was asking me, well, what do you do if you don't join a gym? And I said, well, I just, when I want to work my upper body, I do push-ups, I do pull-ups. I have some weights in the garage, and it's free, and I use it when I need it. I just don't find the need to join a gym. I don't have any desire to do that. People ask me, well, what about spin class and all those classes? And I think to myself, well, I own bicycles, so to me, spin classes just doesn't seem like as much fun as getting out there outdoors. I'm in California. The joke is it's sunny 600 days a week, here in California. So I just don't find any need for myself to join a gym, but I don't think that joining a gym is bad. My big concern is, for most people, they pay for a gym, you're locked into a contract for 5 years, paying monthly, and then you never go. So if you're going to join a gym, find a place that's right for you and make sure you get your money's worth out of it.